Hey there guys, how's it going? It's Travelinbeat here, and it is a rainy day out here on March 9th, 2022, coming to you from Lake Fairfax in Northern Virginia. Thought I'd just take you off for a bit of a walk, man. It's been a little bit since my last video, and I kind of wanted to catch you up. So just a couple of videos ago, I announced a thru-hike attempt of the Continental Divide Trail this year. I am happy now at this point to be able to announce a date. I am going to be embarking, taking my first steps on the Continental Divide Trail on April 3rd. April 3rd, man. So that is less than 4 weeks away at this point. I've booked up my flights to get down to El Paso, Texas. I'm going to be staying with my sister-in-law's family. They're going to be kind enough to put me up for a couple days, or a day, and then bring me to the train station the next day. And from El Paso, I'll be jumping on a train out to Lordsburg, New Mexico. 2 nights in Lordsburg before catching a shuttle to the Crazy Cook Monument, which is the southern terminus, of course, of the Continental Divide Trail. So April 3rd, that's the start date. Aside from that, I wanted to apologize. I haven't been releasing a ton of videos recently, man. I'll tell you, it has been busy, super busy. Basically, there's just so much to do before getting on trail. And I kind of wanted to catch you up on what some of those chores have looked like and what they've included. So one of the first chores I cracked into in advance of undertaking this thru-hike attempt was to order a half-dozen pair of my favorite shoes, the Topo Trail Ventures. That wasn't just a random guess. I found on the Appalachian Trail last year that the Trail Ventures tended to last just about 500 miles or so. So the Continental Divide Trail is 3,100 miles or so. So, you know, 500 into 3,000 is 6. So I grabbed up a half-dozen pair of Topo Trail Ventures. So getting the shoes was the first step, but after that I had to kind of modify them to make them trail ready. So I had some Velcro strips that I glued onto the back of each shoe. So the first step in that, obviously cutting off the little Velcro strip into probably about a 2-inch strip. Once the Velcro is in a 2-inch strip, then I had to moisten the back of the shoes. So a little water bottle, I just squirted a few drops of water onto the back of the shoe, kind of wiped that in so that it would be in the material of the shoe. And then took some Gorilla Glue, applied that, then just stuck the Velcro strip on. I covered that up with a little strip of paper towel, held it in place overnight for a full day, day and a half, with some rubber bands. So it definitely took a little bit of time because it wasn't just the one shoe, of course. It was 12 shoes at that point for a half-dozen pair of shoes. So I put in the Velcro strips. That was really great. That is going to be obviously to secure the gaiters to the shoe. The Dirty Girl gaiters that I'll be using on trail, that I used on the Appalachian Trail and enjoyed so much. So the Velcro strips were on the shoe. After that, I had to procure another half-dozen pair of the Soul brand insoles that I used on the Appalachian Trail and enjoyed so much. So I grabbed up my insoles. I used the insole from the Topo Trail Venture to trace and then cut them to size. So the insoles were in, the Velcro was on. The next step for the Topo Trail Ventures and final step was to replace the laces. I really enjoy the Nathan brand elastic laces, the sort of speed laces on the shoes. So once the Velcro was on, once the insoles were in, I snipped off all the laces. I basically took off the stock laces that come with those shoes and put on the Nathan elastic insoles. I also noticed from my Appalachian Trail thru hike that periodically the little buckle that would kind of secure those would loosen up or snap off or something. So I wound up just gluing those too. So I would relace them with the elastic, and then I would put on all the buckles and snaps and actually glue them shut just to keep them closed for the entire hike. So aside from the shoes, obviously there were some other components that I knew I needed to replace and kind of stock up on for this hike. I definitely ordered some new ex officio boxers. 2 new pair of those should last me, if not the whole trail. Should get me most of the way. They did on the Appalachian Trail. So I ordered some new ex officios. I ordered a brand new CNOC 3-liter water bladder. I had replaced my old one right after getting off the trail, right after getting off the Appalachian Trail. So now I have 2 3-liter CNOC bags, which might be excessive, but if there's one thing that the CDT is known for, it's water scarcity. So I'm going to go ahead and just start with what will be, let's see, 2 3-liter bags plus 2 2-liter bottles. So a max of 8-liter capacity, which is just a lot of weight, but you know, we'll see how the hike goes. So new C-Knock bag. I also ordered about a half dozen new pair of Injinji toe socks. Those were really good for me on the Appalachian Trail, and just kind of helped my toes from getting any blisters and stuff like that. So ordered another half dozen of those as well. I also ordered a new pair of waterproof gloves that I'll be featuring in an upcoming video when I do some comparisons of gear from the AT to the CDT. But a new pair of waterproof gloves that I'll be bringing out on this hike. So a few other things that I've been doing in advance of this hike. I mean, there's been a lot of it. I've been busy. A few other things that I've been doing. I had 3 big jugs of coins that I had just amassed over the years. I weighed it and then I took it to a Coinstar. It was about 63 pounds of coins, mostly silver coins too, mostly not pennies. But I had 63 pounds of coins. Took that to a Coinstar, and rather than paying any of the Coinstar royalties or whatever, just decided to go ahead and take the payout in an Amazon gift card to save that surcharge. So it wound up being just about $1,000 on an Amazon gift card. 63 pounds of mostly silver coins, for future reference, is about $1,000. So that was a nice bonus, man, because that definitely helped with some of the budgeting that I was looking at. So I took that $1,000, ran off to Amazon, and bought a ton of food, man, a ton of food. Another thing that I know about the CDT is that there are multiple towns where you would do well to have a resupply box sent out to you, because there just isn't even a grocery store. So I also did a little bit of filming just to show you how those 36 days worth of resupply foods went together. Let's go ahead and check out those clips. Hey guys, how's it going? All right, so in this little segment, we're gonna go through how I've been packing up some of the food that I'm gonna be using for resupplies on the Continental Divide Trail. I have in previous videos from my AT hike already gone through generally how I do sort of resupplies and what I'm looking for. But this is gonna be kind of a dive into this pile, this incredible pile of like $1,000 worth of protein bars and ramens and nor pasta sides and everything else. Basically what I did was I made a quick list of all of the food that would be in my ideal resupply. So here's that, there's my ideal resupply. So this is all the food that I will eat on a daily basis according to these resupply bags. And basically what I'll do is I'll lay it out in a row. So I'll have, again, breakfast up top, lunch, which is really just a mix of protein bars. And then below that, I'll have dinner, which is usually like 2 ramen packets and a tuna or a nor pasta side and some tuna. And once everything is laid out right in front of me, very easy to see, then it goes into a 1-gallon Ziploc bag. So basically this 1-gallon Ziploc bag is 1 day's worth of food. Yeah, it's definitely a lot. But my thought is basically before I get on trail here is I want to have something like 36 or 40 days worth of food ready to go, lying in wait back with my family back home, so that as I'm getting to places where I know the resupply is going to be spotty or whatever, I can just say, hey, grab 6 days of food, throw them in a box, send them out to this place. Yeah, so that's how I went ahead and put together all of the resupply food, which I'm going to be leaving with my sister Wum, with whom I went for a hike a few weeks ago. She's going to be kind of heading up, mailing out any resupply components that I need on trail. So that covers the shoes, that covers the resupply. Another thing I did was, obviously I went out to the doctor, got another annual physical. Happy to report that I'm in good health. So it was just kind of a chore thing, you know, you got to take care of real life stuff too. So got my annual physical. I've also been very busy brainstorming and fabricating solutions for different sort of, not really problems that I encountered on the Appalachian Trail, but just sort of nuanced little things. So one thing I did, as you saw for the thumbnail of this video, was I took my Z-Packs Dyneema ground cover. I got some 12-inch letter stencils, and I made my ground cover into a hiker to trail / hiker to town sign, which I hope will kind of help with any sort of hitchhiking efforts that I need to undertake on the Continental Divide Trail. Took time, but really it won't add any weight to my kit, so the main expense was just buying the 24-inch letters, and now I have a hitchhiking sign, so that's pretty cool. Aside from that, I found a new solution to my watch, which always lives on my oh golly, look at this. That's just a little turtle who got flipped upside down and eaten. Poor little guy. Poor little guy. Ooh, kind of grisly. So aside from the hitchhiking sign, another thing I've kind of come up with was a solution for the watch that I carry on my fanny pack. You may have seen in past videos that usually I just keep my watch clipped onto, kind of secured onto a loop on my fanny pack, just to keep it off of my body so that I can tell the temperature more accurately. But I didn't love that I had to thread it through that loop every night and every morning. I would want it in my tent with me overnight, but my fanny pack would live in my bear bag. So I had to basically thread it through that little loop on the fanny pack every day. So what I did instead, I just took some nylon strap and basically hand sewed a little loop that I can use a carabiner with now and just kind of keep it clipped onto my fanny pack. So that'll make it way easier in the morning and in the night. I won't have to thread through the sort of rubberized strap of the watch, and I can just kind of clip it on and clip it off as I need. So that's going to be huge. Another thing that I've fabricated that I'm actually using right now as I record is a little windscreen for my GoPro. So basically the Continental Divide Trail, it seems to me that when you're not in the desert where there are no trees, you're well above tree line. So the average elevation of this trail is 11,000 feet, which is almost a mile higher than the highest point of the Appalachian Trail. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of wind noise basically. And since I like y'all and I want to make good videos for you guys, I undertook to design a pattern for furry material that will live kind of wrapped around my GoPro. And I'm hoping that that'll really help with the wind noise. I actually did a test. Let's check out the test. It's a good old gust right here with the windscreen on. Good old gust. Good gust. It's about the same strength as it just was with the windscreen off. Good gust. All right, so I made the hitchhiker sign. I made a clip for my watch to live on my fanny pack. I made a windscreen for my GoPro. Another thing that I've fabricated, I'm actually working on making it even more official, is a kind of pre-filter, which will live in between my CNOC water bladder and my Sawyer squeeze filter. A lot of the water on the Continental Divide Trail is going to be very silty, very mucky, very dirty. And rather than have it just clog up my filter instantaneously, I've endeavored to design a pre-filter. So basically the thrust of it, the main component, the principal active ingredient will be a 200 micron stainless steel mesh, which, to be perfectly honest, I've cut out of a reusable coffee filter. And I'm figuring out ways to mount it in between a female thread and a male thread of a Sawyer bottle. So I'm actually talking with a guy who's trying to put together a 3D model for me so that I can get it 3D printed. And if that's the case, then that'll be great. Otherwise, I'll kind of take this prototype that I've already built on trail with me and hope that the glue and everything works for it. So the second to last activity that I've been really busy with, and unfortunately have resulted in my dereliction of video production, has been planning, man. I'll tell you, like, the CDT has a million different alternates. So what I've been doing is kind of looking through every alternate, seeing what advantages and disadvantages it has over the official trail, and what the different factors are that go into each of the alternates, and then trying to plan for those, you know. I mean, obviously I totally understand that there are real world events which may overtake my ability to go on my preferred course, but I want to understand what my preferred course is before I get there. So, you know, a simple thing like rather than going to the Parting of the Waters in northern Wyoming, I'm going to bear west and chart a course into the Grand Tetons. So you know, so I had to kind of like plot a 360-mile alternate all on my own to figure out how to get over to the Grand Tetons. So, I mean, again, obviously if there's fires and stuff, I can't go. If there's snow, I can't go and stuff like that. Another expression which I just recently picked up, another one of my hiking mottos that I picked up is planning is everything, the plan is nothing. So got that from another YouTube hiker called Farrell, who's a local guy who actually took time to meet me up just a couple weeks ago. He hiked the CDT last year after hiking about 1,000 miles of the Appalachian Trail last year. He had previously hiked the entire Appalachian Trail, but so Farrell took some time to sit down with me, and you know, it took like 4 hours really to sit down with me and go through every last question I had about the Continental Divide Trail. So thanks, Farrell. And then the final chore that I've been working on more than anything for this hike is actually just working. As I referenced in my announcement video, these hikes just take money, man. So I've been working, you know, 50 plus hours a week, week in, week out, just trying to make money and save up for this hike, because you know, I really only have about 3 weeks before I'm going to be pulling up stakes and getting on trail, and so I need to kind of work hard and stack as much money as I can so that I can undertake this effort. But anyways, yeah, so sorry again for not getting videos out a little more regularly. Trust that I will be trying my absolute darndest to get out daily videos once I'm on the CDT, which again will begin on April 3rd. But you know, it's just busy, man. I mean, it's really hard to work 60 hours a week and do all of this prep stuff. So as much as so many of these clips have been in high speed and fast forward and stuff, man, it takes time. It takes real time to do this stuff. So anyways, I do appreciate all of your interest. It's definitely a blast. It's a labor of love, so I'm not complaining about it. It's, you know, just kind of explaining why I've been kind of scant on videos recently. So anyway, stay tuned. Another 3 or 4 weeks and we will be on trail from the Mexican border heading north to Canada. So thanks so much for checking us out, guys. It's Travelinbeat. Special shout out to Riveting Adventures and Hiking with Whiskers and some of these other AT guys who are on trail right now. Definitely gonna follow their videos before I get on trail myself. But best of luck to all the AT hikers, all the CDT hikers, everyone else getting on trail. So I'll talk to you guys next time. Oh, hey, one other quick note about the resupply. In the description below, I'm gonna drop a link to like a spreadsheet that I put together with way more information than you could ever want about the calorie count and protein content and weight of all of the food that I'm packing in these resupply boxes. So give it a look if you're interested.